Salam and welcome. Thank you for joining me in the English reading of the Holy Quran, translation and commentary by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, published by the IPCI, the Islamic Propagation Center International. We're busy with chapter number 92, known as Lail, chapter 92. Right, the summary. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. This was one of the first surahs to be revealed within the first 10 and may be placed very close, right? Note that in all these three surahs, the mystery and the contrast between night and day are appealed to for the consolation of man in his spiritual yearning. Here we are told to strive our utmost towards God, and He will give us every help and satisfaction. 21 verses. Let's look at the rhythmic prose. When we consider God's wonderful creation, we see many mysteries, many opposites, many differences, and the succession of nights and days, the creation of male and female. Can we wonder at the differences in the nature and objectives of man? He is endowed with will, and he must strive for the right through all his diverse paths. For the righteous, the way is made the smoother for bliss. For the arrogant, crooked will, the way is the smoother for misery. But God's guidance is always near, if man will choose it. And what is the goal for those who choose the right? The goal is the sight of the face of God Most High, for that indeed is happiness supreme. O Allah, grant us this great gift and honor of witnessing Thy beautiful and majestic countenance. Ya Rab, do not deprive us from this, Ya Rab. This is the greatest supreme achievement. Ya Rab, 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 Ya Rab al-Alameen, Ya Rab al-Rahimeen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والليل إذا يغشى. Surah 92, Surah Lail, or the night, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Once again, there's so many oaths, one oath, another oath, by. Verily, the ends you strive for are diverse. Right, let's start. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. By the night, as it conceals the light. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Let's start again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. By the night as it conceals the light, by the day as it appears in glory, by the mystery of the creation of male and female. Verily, 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 the ends you strive for are diverse. So he who gives in charity and fears God and in all sincerity testifies to the best, we will indeed make smooth for him the path to bliss. Ya Allah, let us be amongst those. Guide us to those actions and deeds that are righteous and pleasing to Thee, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Let's look at some of the footnotes very briefly. The evidence of three things, namely night, day, and the mystery of sex, and the conclusion is stated in verse number 4. That man's aims are diverse, but similarly there are contrasts in nature. What contrast can be greater than between night and day? When the night spreads her veil, the sun's light is hidden but not lost. The sun is in his place all the time. The sun doesn't disappear. Sun is all there all the time. It's just that the clouds are covering it, and will come forth in all his glory again in his own good time. Man pursuing diverse aims may find, owing to his own position, God's light similarly obscured from time to time. But he must keep on striving hard to put himself in a position to reach it in all its glory, because Allah's light is there all the time. God's light is there, right? The mystery of sexes runs through all life. There is attraction between opposites Each perform its own functions, having special characters, primary and secondary, within limited spheres, and yet both have common characteristics in many other spheres. Each is indispensable to the other. Love in its noblest sense is a type of heavenly love and the highest good. In its debasement, it leads to the lowest sins and the worst crimes. Here then, striving is necessary for the highest good. There are wide contrasts in the nature and aims of people. They may be broadly divided into two classes, good and evil. As night replaces day on account of certain relative positions, but does not annihilate it, so too evil may be for a time obscure good, but cannot blot out the good altogether. Again, night in certain circumstances, for example, for rest, is a blessing. So certain things which it may seem evil to us may really be blessings in disguise. Whatever our aims or positions, we must seek the highest truth from the light of God. Considering these contrasts, do not be surprised or depressed. Man's immediate aims may be different. People have different aims. Men have different aims. Women have different aims. The duty of all is to seek the one true light and to make sure that you're focusing all the time on Tawheed, right? The good are distinguished here by three signs. The good people, they are large-hearted sacrifices for God and people. The fear of God, taqwa, God consciousness, which shows itself in right conduct for taqwa. And thirdly, truth and sincerity in ever recognizing and supporting all that is morally beautiful. For hasana is the good as well as the beautiful. Right? Let's start again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. By the night as it conceals the light, by the day as it appears in glory, by the mystery of the creation of male and female, verily the ends you strive for are diverse. So he who gives in charity and fears God, so these are good people, right? So he who gives in charity and fears God and in all sincerity testifies to the best, we will indeed make smooth for him the path to bliss, the path to paradise. But he who is a greedy miser and thinks himself self-sufficient and gives the lie to the best, we will indeed make smooth for him the path to misery. Nor will his wealth profit him when he falls headlong into the pit. Verily, we take upon ourselves to guide, and verily unto us belong the end and the beginning. Therefore, do I warn you of a fire blazing fiercely. None shall reach it but those most unfortunate ones. O Allah, keep us far away from this, Ya Rab, through the grace and mercy. Astaghfirullah, 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 Ya Rabbal Alameen. Who give the lie to truth and turn their backs, but those most devoted to God shall be far removed from it. Oh Allah, keep us far removed from it, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Those who spend their wealth for increase in self-purification and have in their minds no favor from anyone for which a reward is expected in return. Alhamdulillah. Oh, we still continuing, not to finish. Okay. And have in their minds no favor from anyone for which a reward is expected in return, but only the desire to seek for the countenance of their Lord Most High, and soon will they have attained complete satisfaction. And this is a beautiful, most magnificent goal to aspire to. Ya Rabbal Alameen, grant us the great gift of witnessing their beautiful, magnificent countenance. O Allah, do not deprive us from this. Let us be among those, Ya Rabbal Alameen, whom Thou hast given this great gift of witnessing Thy beautiful countenance, the supreme achievement through Thy grace and mercy. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Join me in the next episode when we'll starting with Surah Duha, the glorious morning light. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.